change gon' come. It's been a long. You got to bring it.
What we got here, man? Acting a fool.
Listen, everybody. What's the name of the channel or something?
Mr. Miniweather.
Mr. Miniweather. Listen, listen to me. Not Mayweather.
Not Mini Mayweather.
Miniweather. Not Mini Mayweather either. Yeah. But hey, listen out. Listen up. Listen, the show was nice. You know, a lot of jewels dropped, a lot of information given without anything being selling.
Yes, sir.
Come on now, talk about it. I want to leave you guys with this though. If you ain't came, shame on you. The ones that could have came but didn't come.
Well.
Pause.
Oh.
Pause. And I want to leave you with something else. This is rated R, okay? Parental discretion is advised. Spending on it. You might be sick. Okay, you might be feeling some type of way.
I can't focus.
But I warned you. I'm out.
It's that flow. No, she my flow. Yeah.
YouTube, Mr. Miniweather here. Man, you guys missed it if you did not make it out. Education with purpose. Man, this thing was lit. Y'all should have been there, bro. We had Tyrik Jackson, Chris Bossio, Josh O.P, Danny. Man, so many familiar faces, so many new people I've never seen, but I was able to network, connect, and share the moment with like-minded individuals. Some big names in barbering was out, man. Of course, Get Beam, Christian Perez, Loco, Matt Gifted Hands, Vic Blends, Chuka the Barber, Jesse Lima, Jay Majors. It was just so many people. David Fowler. I was blown away by the event. I had a video, my video before last. I reviewed the Las Vegas Barber Expo, and it was the first one. And I have to say, it felt like it was the first one. But in comparison to this, man, the education was there. And it was, my desires were fulfilled with this show. After the show, there was a networking event. They had rented out a venue for us to just sit back and connect. So many of us got to sit around and talk and just chop it up. Hey man, where you from? Where you cut at? I'm Mr. Miniweather. I got this going on. What you got going on? It was so nice, man. And just being able to just sit around these guys, man, the ones who've been doing it and they're at the top of the game, and just listen as they, spilled their heart out and wanted to really share with us how they got where they are. It's just things that you really don't get to do on a regular basis. It's different when you got to type somebody a comment versus being there and like, hey, Chris, such and such and such and such, and he's like, yeah, man, you can do this, and this, or Vic, man, how did you get so many followers on Instagram, or whatever it may be. These guys were here and they were humble, man. They were available for you. But back to the class itself. Man, I don't even know where to start. Bossio started off by speaking. He simplified a haircut. He gave a system where bam, that's how he taught the guys in the class how to fade. He did a haircut where he started off with number 2 straight up the sides, and then he said, you know what, this is going to be, your fingers is your guidelines. Your guidelines should be about that wide apart. And so he said, this is no guard. This is your number 1. This is your number 2. And of course, you're going to clean up in between those with your half guard and your 1.5 guard. But man, everybody just was going crazy. They're like, man, just blown away how simple he made that haircut look. But the theme for the day, it just seemed to flow. and it was just foundation. People were allowed to vote on what they wanted to talk about. And to Bossio's surprise, and really to my surprise, people want to know how to build clientele. It seems so elementary, and that we kind of be past that point, but it just that's where we are in the industry right now. And so he was breaking down, like, people really, they want to be, what did he say? They want to be the best hair cutter, but really all they need to do is focus on what they already do and get really, really good at it and be consistent with it, and you will become hard to replace. Josh O.P., he was breaking down the psychology behind cutting hair. Being happy, being confident, being sure in oneself, and how doing this, it will cause you to, your confidence level will be displayed in the person's haircut. And he talked about taking back our industry, us being the professionals that we are. He said barbering has to be one of the only industries in the world where the individual who comes to us, who's not the professional, dictates how we perform our service. He brought up the example of a plumber. If you need help, your toilet's clogged up, you're going to call the plumber, you're going to point and say, hey, here's the problem, do what you do. And he was saying, he tied that into what we do. He talked about having your mind free, not putting yourself in a box, not doing things the way that everyone else tells you to do them. If you feel like, because haircut is art. So if you feel like doing a burst fade right here on this side with the taper fade right here, with it just bald in the back, with a little design, he just said we have that freedom, and this is our industry. We are the artists, and we need to show the world who we are. Next up, we had Tyrik Jackson, who he spoke on from a stance of those who want to be shop owners or managers of the shop, just those in a position of authority and leadership, and the ways to attack that. He said one of the things that really stood out to me was having a kingdom mindset where there's a king, but the king's main focus is his subjects, and those subjects being the customers of the shop, both internally and externally, and how you rule over them or how you dictate the flow of the shop. He said, my business should represent me and my beliefs and morals. And then also, like I said, with the flow or the theme, he went to fundamentals. He said, do what you did from the beginning and do it on an elite level. He was talking about how complacent we can get as we grow and become busier, and we'll kind of forget about those individuals that back in the day when we were slow and you just sitting in the chair and you ain't cut no heads all day, and the person comes in the shop and he's like, hey, my guy, and he just hit that, but everybody in there was laughing, but it's true. Like, you treated that person with high esteem. You wanted them to get the best work you could do because that's the only work you had done all day. That's the same feeling that customer wants to experience each time that he comes in. He doesn't want to feel like, oh, so now you too good for me, you too big, I can't get in with you no more. So doing what you do on an elite level, and from the beginning on an elite level. And he said another quote. He says, as you reach greater levels in your career, you need to change your mindset and have a greater level of thinking. It was deeper than having people come out and try to sell me products. Get the biggest names on Instagram, and put some clippers in their hands and say, hey, this is the best way to fade, and you need these clippers to fade with it. Danny, he was the last speaker of the day, and he covered what it is to own a barbershop or purchase a barbershop. He was talking about how often he gets questions like, hey, how much does it cost to open a barbershop? And so he's just breaking it down, the business mindset that you have to have, knowing, hey, these are costs, but what are going to be the additional costs? What did I miss? What is it really going to cost me by the time I'm done signing these leases and and purchasing these chairs and fans and power strips, you know, how much is it really costing me, so that I'm not jumping into this thing, making the wrong decisions. And even if all you have is $5,000, how to go and negotiate with the building owner and to get them to not only allow you to get started when they really want $20,000, but how to get started with only $5,000 and get them to even front the money for you to pay for the opening process of the shop. As a whole, money was well spent. The trip was well worth it, and I can't wait until next year happens. After all of that, with the social, they came through and released a new product on us, the Beam Team Cordless Compressor XL, as well as Tomb45's own color. We've been using the Kiss Expression. Now, Tomb45 has come out with their own product. It was the black brown and a black as well. But in February, the new compressor is going to be coming out. There is a trade-in value if you currently have the first compressor, version 1. So what they're going to do is allow you to send yours back in after you pay your monies, and once they receive your package, then they'll send you out the new one. And instead of paying the $180 plus tax, all you have to do is pay the $100, and they won't charge you shipping on when they send you back out that package. So that is a plus. Tomb45 always staying innovative at the top of the game. The next day we hooped, man. We had a nice turnout. People came and we played basketball. We ran a few games. There were some champions of the day. I think it was Nate, Matt Gifted Hands, Dre, Tyler Trotter, and another guy who I wasn't familiar with, but they ended up winning like 4 games. I ended up getting, my knuckles scraped up and my knee too, because Drake tackled me and scored it passed the ball to Matt Gifted Hands for the last bucket, or else we'd have beat them, man. But they kind of cheated, but that's neither here nor there. Lunch, we had a nice turnout, man. Everybody showed up. 360 Jeezy, Christian Perez, Chris Loco, Dre. Who else was there? Get Bean, Mark by Limos. And, man, we just ate and just chopped it up. After that, we went to the mall and some more just kicking, talking. Oh, and Josh O.P. was there as well. And then after that, we stopped by Top Golf before I had to head out. And I was real sad about that because I really wanted to stay at Top Golf longer with them. But I had to catch a flight and come home. But that's in a nutshell, that's what my experience. I didn't want to leave. Like, it was such an amazing experience for me. Something I'll never forget. And I really appreciate everybody who came together on the Tomb45 team to really make this thing happen, make it worth it for us guys, and just giving us hope in the future of our industry, letting us see that, you know what, we are barbers first, and we need money, but we're doing this because this is our passion, not because we just need money. We're not being money driven. That's one of the things that Tyrik Jackson talked about as well, but not being money driven, and not just being excited about the products and tools that's coming out, but actually going out to learn, like, hey, how can I get better at this? How can I grow in this industry? How can I take my game to the next level? And how can I be successful, not only for myself, but for my barber brothers? How can we come together and be successful together and show that fellowship and that brotherhood? And this was a wonderful example of that. Not to be too long-winded, I also recorded a few different testimonials or, you know, from some of the guys who were there. And I'm going to go ahead and play them at the end of this video so you guys can get their stance on what it was. You're going to hear from Chris Loco. You'll hear from Tyrik Jackson. You're going to hear from just a few different people. And I just want you guys to know that if you missed it, you really missed something special. But don't be upset because there will be more to come. And I promise you it's going to be a bright future for all of us barbers that are really here to take this game to the next level. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited about 2019 and everything that's going on. And I just thank you guys for listening.
Perfect.
So if you wasn't here, you really missed out. Like, it was non-stop bar after bar after bar. Would you agree? No, it was like bar after bar after bar. My guy, just listen, yo. Make sure you're there for the next Education with Purpose. I said it right here. It's going down.
Listen, it was epic. No vending, no selling, no battles, all education. Education with purpose. I had an amazing time. Thank you, Tomb45, for bringing me out here to just partner with you guys, to connect with Josh and Dan and Bossio on the stage in front of all the people who travel from Cali, Texas, Tennessee, Boston to be here in Tampa, Florida. Amazing. Quality education, quality instructors, not including myself, the other guys. Man, I had a great time, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yo, listen, guys, man. Look, if you came and you were part of this event, the very first EWP, I appreciate it, man. I'll be honest with you, it went above and beyond what I could have ever expected. The support was amazing. Like, just I just, to me, I had emotional moments on stage, and I didn't want to let it out, but I really did, because I feel like I knew every single person that was sitting down. Like Mr. Miniweather, like, I know him. You know what I'm saying? That he's here, but he ain't from here. So it was really dope. There weren't a lot of people from Tampa. There was mostly people from all over the country. And tonight, I know it's going to be epic. I just hope that, you know, we continue to build relationships. We continue to push the industry forward. And the fact that it was funny because if you know Jesse Lima, some of you guys may know Jesse Lima. He talked about how the people in the class, you could tell, are part of the same culture. You got Mr. Miniweather with a camera. You have other guys with cameras. You could see the people who are investing in themselves. You can see the people who are branding themselves and who have more vision than just being behind the chair. That's what this event was about, and I think we accomplished it, man. So I'm super happy about it.
I appreciate it.
I'm about to show y'all some real waves.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. See me brushing?
Yeah.
Okay. You see that? You see that? Okay.